Good morning and welcome. It's Good Morning Anambra, Tuesday episode. Today is October 8th, 2024, and we're so delighted to welcome you to our show today again. Thank God for a beautiful day. Thank God for the privilege for us to be alive in the land of the living. And I hope you had a wonderful night rest. Thank you for always waking up with us on our breakfast show. Good morning, Anambra. My name is Nonye Nwokoye. Now, let's welcome you to the press review. All right, you're welcome to Good Morning Anambra show. Now it's time for the press review, and we've been joined by a public affairs analyst, is none other than Barrister Dan Jacobs.
The presenter, thank you.
You're welcome to the show.
Viewers, you are welcome to the program.
All right, this morning we have a lot of papers for review. Let's see what's trending on the Nigerian dailies, and of course, stories making the headlines on ABS website. We begin with stories from ABS website. Now, markets must open on Mondays or be sealed. That's coming from Governor Soludo. Soludo constitutes panel of inquiry on Ogwanyocha community crisis. Over 1 million Anambra children to benefit from 2024 measles campaign. ECOWAS enhances agricultural productivity through solar-powered systems in Senegal. You know, I watched the governor making that statement yesterday on so many, videos of him trending when he visited some markets in Onitsha to, call out the traders to start coming out on Mondays for their businesses.
Well, the idea of the governor calling on the traders to start to open their markets on Mondays is a welcome development. But the problem is that the issue of security have to be looked into. Governor have said it, but the fear of traders is that you don't know who will be the victim. Last time, the unknown gunmen went to nearby community here, Nemo, and chased away the traders. Why should they trade on Monday? So the security the security of life and property have to be improved upon. The police that's assigned to maintain, to secure properties, lives, or the citizens should step up their activities. And the government have to look into issue of community policing. The vigilante. This issue of state police, I don't know what they are toiling with it. It's a high time.
The governor was actually so emotional, so serious about the issue, because he said specifically that if you don't open on Monday, your shop will be sealed and you'll not be able to sell the whole of the week. Then with time, he's going to extend it to a month if you fail to come out Mondays.
That's not the issue. Many people have tried to be going to market on Mondays, but some were ambushed and killed and they were by non-gunmen. The reports are there. But the community policing have to be improved upon. They should prevail on the federal government to allow state police to come to stay. So that the vigilante and the vigilante we have in our system is not strengthened the way they ought to be. Police is now using them to do their arrest, but they are not empowered to secure this community.
Let's keep our fingers crossed. I believe the governor is in Anambra State. He knows what is happening.
The issue of community policing should be strengthened. I don't think he's going
to fold his arms and allow them to
let the community policing be strong enough.
All right. Let's see. Over 1 million Anambra children to benefit from 2024 measles campaign. WHO is really doing much. They held their meeting, I think, or training, or so to speak, in Enugu recently with other stakeholders to start off this campaign. The last time it was HPV campaign, and of course they took it to various schools, and even people had to go to health centers to be vaccinated. So what's your take on that?
No, it's a good development and laudable project. And the issue of most of the problem we have in this area on the health is issue of sanitation.
Okay.
The kind of environment people live in, like issue of measles, we know that the environment contributes to it. Overcrowding, we should look at the issue of accommodation to improve on housing facilities for the citizens, improve on the sanitation issue of the citizens. By so doing, you improve the health too. Not just to vaccinate them, but you might vaccinate. But when you did not solve the problem from the root, it will not go.
All right. Let's now run. The first paper for review this morning is the Daily Times newspaper. Let's see stories from the Daily Times newspaper. Tinubu to judiciary. Anti-graft war won't be won by technicalities of frivolous appeals. We have riders to that story. The writer says restates federal government's commitment to creating right environment for judicial officers to discharge their responsibilities. Lists Students Loan Fund Consumer Credit Scheme as FG's strategic initiatives to curb corruption. Right, still on the Daily Times, we have Rivers allow Fubara to work. Bode George tells Wike, with rider says any threat to peace in Rivers will eventually lead to huge security implications to Nigeria, West Africa, and Africa. That's coming from Bode George. Okay, FG launches CNG tricycles portal for youth participation. NAFDAC, SAN, others harmonize position on Codex food labeling standard. Tinubu decries violence in Rivers, directs police to provide security to local government offices. NEMA DG urges adoption of modern technologies for emergency management. Shetima seeks a stronger federal government-private sector synergy for economic growth. All right. I don't know which story to look at.
Well, you know,
what erupted in River State, you know. But I think they should know that something like that should happen.
Well, not that they should know. We know that the issue in River State is who we control. And there's no way the sitting governor will fold his hand and allow his government being messed up just like that by somebody that have already ruled and stepped aside. So what's happened actually, some people expected it, but the police did not live up to the expectation. The court, I don't know how will I describe it, the order of court asking police not to participate. The role of police, primary role of police is to secure life and properties. When you go to Section 4 of Police Act, the issue assigned to them is to make sure that they should be non-partisan. Police should not be partisan at all. But in Nigeria today, politicians have made police to look as if they are partisan. Do you get the point I'm making? And the judiciary has carried at times made certain things. So why should the judge give order that police should withdraw from doing their duty? Their primary assignment that they should withdraw from participation in the election. You should know that no matter what is happening, whether good or bad, police should be there to secure lives and property. But why should the judge give an order that they should withdraw?
All right.
It's very, very unfortunate. We should be very careful in our activities in this country. Not be used because of selfish interest to destroy the interest of the majority. The posterity will judge all of us.
All right. Now, the Tinubu to judiciary, anti-graft war won't be won by technicalities of frivolous appeals. Restate federal government's commitment to creating right environment for judicial officers to discharge their responsibilities.
Well,
this one, I think this one is, it concerns you.
Well, the anti-graft war, indeed, the way they are going about it, they are not serious. It is still not the way it ought to be. They are still selective in those the
Discharging their judgment.
the duty. The EFCC and the courts have not actually lived up to expectation. When you don't punish people for wrong, others be encouraged. You don't wait until you see people see billions in account of, but somebody will know his income. Like governors that are after their stay in the office, they will start to float billions of dollars, start it that way. Anyway, you make sure you find somebody living above his means of life income. You should question that person. We should put microeconomic check in place in this country. You should allow even some civil servants, we are talking about politicians, even some top civil servants are not helping matters. Because they are the people that are on the ground. When the politician comes and go, the civil servant remains. But when those of them that are there, once the politician comes in, they join them to root. And once you don't punish wrong, other people will encourage. Assuming you know my ending, then I stayed in office. By the time I came out of office, I started to float to billions. Want to come in to come and question me? Where do I get this? You don't wait until somebody say this person's true or this.
All right, let's move. The Punch newspaper is next in our lineup. Let's see stories coming from the Punch. Naira for crude. Federal government FG panel proposes a 6-month supply for Dangote refinery. We have riders the refinery to get 24 million barrels in 2 months. Fresh concerns over NNPCL's sole petrol buyers' role. Now, FG lists 7 states for Mpox vaccination. 2027 Obi Kwankwaso Alliance proposal will fail, says APC. Fobarakam proposes emergency rule as 3 killed, secretariats raised. Tinubu warns against anarchy. PDP governors, Clark back Fubara. Okay, still in front of the Punch. We can see pictures of a burnt vehicle in front of that. Oando, 2 foreign firms listed to buy Trinidad's national refinery. Lagos begins trial of 2 doctors over patient's death. And Nigerians in Lebanon fought federal government over evacuation claims. Okay, these are stories making their headlines in front of the Punch newspaper.
Well,
we look at the issue of Dangote refinery.
Because that is the issue that
yesterday in there was a paper that carried yesterday the issue of debating whether our crude should be sold in dollar or in naira, and I was like, what kind of a nation are we that we deal on dollars when our currency is naira? So I was wondering what actually is going on in this nation.
No, you know, the politicians have dollarized the economy of this country, which is very, very wrong. Without making use of our own currency in our day-to-day
not even ashamed to say that kind of a thing.
That kind of a thing. You are selling crude to a Nigerian company.
Crude in Nigeria.
Crude in our own country, and you are talking about using dollar. No matter, although in the international market, they might be having issue of dollar pricing the crude oil.
This is our thing.
But once it's our own thing, you convert it to naira and sell it to him at the same rate. Or even you give it cheaper to him, because by the time the cost of shipping is no longer there. You can pump direct to his own refinery, isn't it? And you still, the cost of shipment and the rest of them, they should be the benefit of Nigerians. I don't understand what is going on in this country. You know that because of vested interest in oil business, this oil business has destroyed our economy. People only have interest how to make money through that, because that is where they make easy money.
All right, now federal government's proposal of 6-month supply for Dangote refinery. You know, most times Nigeria have beautiful policies, you know, make beautiful recommendations after committee sitting to deliberate on issues. but most times you find out that our problem is on implementation of those decisions or, you know, that came up after a meeting.
They should not even be talking about 6 months arrangement. They should be talking about regular supply to Dangote refinery. Dangote refinery is our own now. The only refinery that is functional in Nigeria. Federal government refinery, the federal government refineries have been moribund for years, and the billions of dollars are spent to revive them. No way, because of corruption. Now that Dangote, an individual, invested so much money to build a refinery, they should be talking about regular supply, not periodic or issue of months. No.
All right. The most important thing is here that the common man gets these products, you know, is affordable and accessible to the common man. That's our
but
own.
The oil, the price of oil in the market now, like issue of PMS and the rest of them, they are not affordable.
That's
you can't see much vehicles on the road.
I said, what is important for the common man is, let me see this product and let it be affordable.
Simple.
You know, if they really want to touch the life of the common man.
Yes.
All right, let's see the Vanguard newspaper. Two stories making their headlines in front of the Vanguard. Now, Rivers, 5 killed. Local government headquarters set ablaze. Chairman chased out. With riders there as Tinubu directs police to provide local government officers security. Burning of council facilities, acts of irresponsibility coming from the governor Fubara. Tells Wike, you can't win all fights. Inspect Ikwere local government secretariat. And police mom over attacks. IGP withdraws personnel. Crisis may have security implications on Nigeria. Bode George speaking. LP vows to challenge polls in court. Clark Hills Tinubu Fubara on peaceful local government polls. Stakeholders condemn violence, killings in rivers. Action barbaric, cowardice, says Emeka Beke. Work resume in all secretariats. APP chair. We are victims of attacks, says a pro-Wike APC. Okay, autonomy. Don't give workers' salary to local governments. Labour begs federal government. Okay, we can see the picture in front of that paper. Arson at Rivers local government areas. Edoguba, PDP accuses INEC of doctoring beavers, concealing rigging. Other court reduces bill to 5 million naira for end bad governance protesters each. Malnutrition, federal government can World Bank unite to save 11 million children. FGN and PCL Dangote plan changes in petrol lifting. That's investigations are speaking. Right, and Tinubu committed to food security. VP Shetima speaking. That's just about it in front of the Vanguard newspapers.
Well, I think issue of committed to food security, we should stop giving lip service to important issues in this country. The government should know that without security of our environment, you can't have food security. If one farmer don't have access to their farm, they should look into the issue of this security in this country. Fight it with all the might, with all the strength of the government. Make sure that you defeat all this insurgency anywhere you find them, so that the farmers have access to their farms. Before you talk about the issue of food security. Now, most of the farms are being destroyed by hoodlums. They call them non-government, they call them terrorists, they give them different names. But you know their source, they know where they live. Why can't government do everything within the power to stop all this nonsense?
All right, still on, okay, let's see, the Daily Independent newspaper. Let's see stories coming from there. Anyoko calls for change in tactics of fighting corruption. I think elders are really speaking this morning. You know, Bode just spoke concerning reverse. Now, Anyoko is speaking about fighting corruption. Tinubu not averse to food security in Nigeria, says Shetima. Rivers local government polls, Tinubu warns angry parties against self-help. Ask aggrieved parties fomenting trouble to go to court. Task security operatives to bring situation under control. 3 killed, 3 local government secretariats set ablaze, violence spreads. Fubara condemns burning of secretariats, fingers Wike's loyalists. Rivers CJ inaugurates election petition, appeals tribunals. Still on the Daily Independent, public-private sector synergy way to overcome economic woes. A dual poll tribunal as INEC to grant a orderly PDP access to inspect materials. NAFDAC workers begin indefinite strike. Dangote refinery would propel Africa out of poverty. IBN chambers. Don't give our salary to local governments. Union tells FG. All organs of APC except NWC are not functioning. Lookman speaking. All right, I don't know which of the stories.
No, this issue of river, this issue of Rivers Pool Harbor, recurrent issue now.
Virtually all the people, because it happened yesterday.
That River State indigenous should know that they are destroying their property, that they are the people that will suffer. Definitely at the end of the day, those assets that are being burnt, their money will be used to rebuild them. And it will, using what would have used, the resources that are supposed to be used for other meaningful things, to rebuild destroyed property. It's the loss of the people, not the gain. They should not allow politicians to use them to harm themselves. They should stand up against bad governance. They should rise up against godfatherism. We should start to do things right. Citizens should rise up now and challenge all this nonsense in our system and make sure we have back our country back from politicians.
All right, we look at the advice from elders. Anyoko calling for change in tactics of fighting corruption.
It's true. They change, but who will now fight corruption that the power bill will not cow? Because when you touch the sacred cows, and you'll be called up, when maybe you have the zeal to fight, maybe somebody that is so dear to power that be is being touched, and they ask you, leave this person alone. We won't have that courage again to go for that. You get the point I'm making? When you allow all the citizens to be equal in the eyes of law, when we obey rule of law, the problem we have in this country in the issue of fighting of corruption is that the government don't obey the rule of law. If you allow the law to take due course, no matter who is involved, even if it's your child or your wife,
the rich, the poor,
the rich, poor, or whoever is involved, you allow the law to take it due course. Many people will now start to see the consequences of action. When you don't have consequences for action, people, this issue of fighting corruption will continue to be a mess.
All right, let's see. We'll take 2 papers now on one at a time. The Guardian and Daily Trust. Now, on The Guardian, state of emergency stalks Rivers as political thugs attack councils. We have other stories. Anti-graft war won't be won by technicalities, declares Tinubu. Worries over petrol price as Tinubu deregulates downstream sector. 80% of Africans unhappy with delivery of democracy rule, says Akin Kekere Ekun. Court reduces bail of 5 end bad governance protesters to 5 million naira each. NAFDAC champions food labeling standards as workers commence indefinite strike. Police arrest Arebe Shola's loyalists for accusing Etola of using palliative rice as birthday gift. Reviving a comatose technical education beyond enrollment drive. Okay, this the stories coming from The Guardian. Then on the Daily Trust, we have Tinubu released 1,200 fertilizer bags to each senator, 600 to rep. Bandits kill 8 Zamfara community guards. Sharian Council defends Senator Buba against politically motivated attacks. We have Hajj threat to hit 10 million naira as federal government stops subsidy. Dangote refinery, Nigerians may pay more for petrol as NNPC quits middleman role. Okay, other stories we have there. We are taking steps to address insecurity, disunity in North Arewa Consultative Forum. Speaking, cholera kills 7 persons in Kano. FCT primary school teachers suspend strike. All right, these are stories on the Daily Trust news.
This issue of reducing the bag condition to 5 million.
5 million
In the first place, for protest, I think it's right to protest when things are not going the way it ought to go. I don't see the reasons of arraigning these people in the first place. We're talking about grants, saying reducing the bag condition. They exercise their civic right. When they perceive the government not doing the right thing, they're still supposed to rise up and say, no, you should not punish anybody for protesting. That's the law. Nobody should be punished for exercising his civic right. That is very wrong.
Okay. Other stories?
Well, on this issue of Dangote oil, Nigerians to pay more, it's a funny thing. When the NNP stop to play the middle road, they should look into this petroleum industry act, liberalize that industry, allow people to come in. Those that can build medium-sized refineries, these model refineries, they should allow them to come in. It should not be one-man affair. By the time you allow, as the government said that they are remove subsidy to allow markets force to determine the price, they should allow people to come in to invest more. And by the time the competition rises, the prices will come down. Look at the issue of telecommunication. When the first telecommunication company came in, like MTN, people bought SIM card at something thousand, for something thousand. Or very costly. But by the time you allow the competition to set in, today, some of them gave, before, there was a period they gave free.
Free of charge.
If we allow petroleum industry issue to be like that, allow people that have the capacity to come in, even foreign investors, if you can invest in Nigeria, build a refinery, allow them. If we can refine our crude oil up to 80% within here, export finished product, it will improve our income, foreign receipts of balance of payment, and it will improve the life of Nigerians. Issue of exporting, even the issue of exporting crude oil up to 90%, because what Dangote refining now is not up to 10%. We should even intensify effort to refine our crude oils up to 80 or even 90%. Exportation, let's assume 70%. Export 30%. By the time you finish all the 70% and other allied products that will fall out of it, and the companies that will now use those allied to develop other products in the country, job will be everywhere.
All right, quickly, let's go to the Nigeria Tribune and see stories coming from the Nigerian Tribune. Rivers born. Tinubu orders police to restore peace. Orders as hoodlums set 3 local government secretariats ablaze. Violence shootings erupt hours after IGP withdrew policemen from secretariats. Call Wike to order. He should let Fubara breathe. But the judge advises Tinubu. Okay, other readers there, I can't really see this very well. Don't give our salary to local government. Unions tell federal government. Kogi government approves 72,500 minimum wage. Okay, court restrictions impede EFCC investigation in 10 states, coming from Olukoyede. Nigerians await clarity as NNPC quits as middleman in Dangote petrol purchase. Ibadan will be headquarters of proposed the Southwest Development Commission. That's coming from the Senate leader. Now, in Edo poll, APC supporters storm INEC office as court grants PDP rights to inspect election materials. And the picture is the burning secretariats in Rivers State yesterday.
Okay.
I was just looking at this picture of burning secretariat yesterday, and I was thinking, as a human being, it's like, when did these people plan this attack, and how did they get into the secretariat? You know,
from the reports, they said immediately police withdrew from those secretariats.
you know,
That
when
the attackers
you
came
see,
in.
you see the difference between us and some developed countries. You know, that before things happen, they take time to plan it. But the election just happened last Saturday. You know, and the winners were sworn in.
The next day.
Yes, on Monday.
This morning, the
On
chairman on Sunday.
Sunday.
Then
So,
the councillors were sworn in yesterday.
and the same yesterday, this happened.
What actually happened? Even the governor on television broadcast said it, that he had intel that they are mobilizing 20 men in each local government for. He said it, which means that even the security agents might have intel too about the plans. And from the reports, they said the immediate police withdrew.
But why would they?
But why should they? Why should they?
What's
Even the
their
police,
duty then?
what's their duty? Is it not to secure life? Why should they withdraw from public facilities they're supposed to protect? Even the police commissioner there should be worried. Even the IG that ordered withdrawal of police, they should tell them to maintain security of life and property. They should not disturb anybody, but watch out for troublemakers, isn't it? What is supposed to, the other is supposed to give them not to withdraw from securing those places.
All right, quickly, let's
So
see
the blame should go to IG.
Okay, let's see. The Daily Independent, that's the last paper and not the least. This morning, Anyoko calls for change in tactics. We've seen that. Rivers local government poll, Tinubu warns angry parties against self-help. We've seen that. All organs of APC except National Working Committee are not working. That's a very grave allegation coming from Lukman there. Now, public-private sector synergy, ways to overcome economic woes coming from the federal government. Edo Guba poll, tribunal orders INEC to grant Igodalo PDP access to inspect materials. NAFDAC workers begin indefinite strike. Dangote refinery would propel Africa out. Okay, we've seen that. Don't give our salary to local governments. Union tells. I think this. Let's look at this because it has occurred in various papers.
The issue of union talking about not giving their salary to local government. It seems they don't understand what is called federal system of government. Once they have declared their autonomy to the local government, the government should manage their staff, welfare, and salary too. The only thing, if there is no, if there any chairman in any local government not performing, then the council should rise up against him and pass vote of no confidence. They should not wait for his tenure to elapse. Once there is issue of mismanagement, notice from any local government chairman, they should take it up with him immediately through the councillors. But the problem we have now that by the time you know it, the councillors and the local government chairman will gang up against the people. You know that what actually made the government, the government to merge the account of the local government and that of state in the past was the issue of mismanagement from the local government chairman. Before, we had the local government system was handling their issues. So this current opportunity given to them now, they should be very careful with it. They should not mismanage.
All right, we can
the government should go back to the people.
You can go on and on, but I think that's the much time could allow us take on the press review for today. We'd like to appreciate you so much, Barrister Ifechukwu and Jacobs, for being here this morning. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, the presenter. Thank you, the viewers, for listening to this.
All right, and that's just about it on the press review for this morning. We'd like to thank you so much for watching. We have more on Good Morning Anambra show this day.